I'm Gali Hernandez of Grimm Artisanal Ales, and this is the Brewer to Brewer podcast from All About Beer. My guest is Nick Flores of Evil Twin NYC, and he is here for a conversation that goes beyond the brew house and into topics that matter to brewing professionals and curious beer drinkers. First, please visit allaboutbeer.com and follow on social media at allaboutbeer. And to support journalism in the beer space, check out allaboutbeer.com/support. We'll get into the conversation in just a moment, but first, this message.
Today's episode is brought to you by StompStickers.com, trusted by thousands of breweries nationwide. With over 30 years of experience, they know beer branding inside and out. Labels, keg collars, coasters, beer boxes, and more. All backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. And if you're headed to the Craft Brewers Conference, stop by booth 1117 to check out Stomp's hand-on samples, like their Drink and Peel labels, or swing by the All About Beer live shows at Human Robot on North 5th to grab a brewery sample pack. Try your first run with StompStickers.com and get 15% off with code FIRSTRUN. That's FIRSTRUN. That's StompStickers.com. Hints of grain, dough, and golden bread greet your nose. Traces of sweet cereal appear alongside nutty and earthy aromas. Rahr To Thee Pils lets hop and yeast character take the spotlight, but it takes its supporting role seriously. Ideal for classic continental lagers and crispy craft lagers, Rahr To Thee is appropriate wherever you desire low color and low modification. Appearing in pFriem Pilsner, Rahr To Thee is produced in Alberta with Canadian-grown barley. Order from RahrBSG and learn more at RahrBSG.com. As an industry-leading keg management partner, Keg Logistics delivers premium stainless steel kegs with the flexibility you truly need. Whether you're kegging your first batch or scaling your distribution, choose the program that fits. Rent to own, flexible term leasing, or pay per fill. Get top quality kegs without massive upfront costs and terms that grow with you. Thousands of brewers, cider makers, and wineries trust Keg Logistics to keep production flowing. Head to keglogistics.com/allaboutbeer for your custom quote. Keg Logistics, your kegs, your choice. Okay, this is big news. Ali and Ecos, the two worldwide leaders in brewery software, have joined forces and are now better together. That's right. These two are putting the gloves down and working together to build a smarter, more affordable tool to help brewers of all sizes streamline production and run their businesses with confidence and without spreadsheets. If you're tired of clunky software, or no judging here, still using spreadsheets, it might be time to see what Ecos and Ali are building together. Learn more at saynotospreadsheets.com. That's saynotospreadsheets.com.
Welcome, and I'm very pleased to have Nick Flores as my guest today. Nick Flores is a Bronx native who got his start brewing at Bronx Brewery before moving through Five Boroughs Brewing and then back to run Bronx Brewery's canning line. Along the way, he developed a deep interest in brewing mechanics and operations. After Bronx Brewery shut down production in 2024, he continued his journey and now works at Evil Twin, New York. Hi, Nick.
Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
I'm well. How are you?
Good.
I'm so happy to have you here. Nick is one of my favorite people in the industry and one of the first people I reach out to if something goes wrong at the brewery. Uh, Can you tell me a little bit about your journey into beer and what got you into beer?
Yeah, man. I don't know. I grew up drinking Coronas and just like regular cheap beer and stuff like that. And then I think I remember the first time I had an IPA. It was like at a beer garden or something. And I just remember thinking like, wow, beer doesn't have to taste like what it always tastes like. So I think through that little like taste of I think it was like Flying Raging Bitch Dog or something, one of those IPAs.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, I lucky enough I found a spot called the Bronx Brewery, and then me and my family started going there for like maybe like a good 4 years before I even started working there. So like, and then I think one time we went, there was a sign that said, "Hey, interested in becoming a brewer? Interested in beer?" check out the full production internship, and from there I applied. I got it, and then I got to meet some very smart people who taught me a lot of things. And yeah, that's pretty much the start of it. That's how this whole career started for me.
And what did you take away from that internship to bring into other things?
That internship really taught me, like, I don't know, I feel like I saw a lot of like the bullshit and nonsense that goes on behind breweries really quick. Like a lot
Right.
of situations, a lot of things that happen that go wrong, and like those um those go wrong situations are like easy enough for people to be like, "Oh, I'm going to quit right after this. Like I don't want to do this no more." But like I don't know, the people that I worked with were like super cool, super smart. I was taught something every day, so like, it was just very like, I feel very blessed to work with the people that were at the Bronx at the time.
Yeah.
Taught me
I
really good work mentality. And
yeah, I agree. I was at the Bronx as well, and I felt the same way. Uh, how did you bring that experience into Evil Twin, and how has Evil Twin been for you?
um let me see. I think when I first got to Evil Twin, they really thought I was like super green and like just like not like knowing my skill set or anything. And then like, um I just remember, all my basics. Like I went in there at first for cellaring,
Mhm.
and just remembered all my basics, why I'm moving things from certain things to here, like trying not to focus on like, the workload or anything like that. But yeah, no. I think I brought a lot of my skills, and it shows because like instantly, like I want to say maybe 3 months into Evil Twin, they already got me up there brewing. I'm touching all the machinery and stuff like that. Like I'm getting my hands into everything over there. So it's been fun.
Cool. And what is like your day to day over at Evil Twin?
Day to day, oh man, what do I do all day? I lift hoses and I attach them to tanks. Nah, I do a lot of cellaring lately.
Okay,
There's two of us in the cellar right now at Evil Twin and one brewer. Um, do a lot of cellaring, a lot of yeast stuff. We're getting more into our yeast management, which is super fun for me
so cool.
because I get to bring in things that I read about, and I'm just like, hey, we should be doing it like this, and everyone's like, yeah, let's do it.
Hmm.
So
So people are pretty receptive to your ideas and
yeah, exactly. Like I think we all pretty much have a grasp of like all our skill sets and everything. So like we're really a close knit team, which I like. There's only three of us, and like I want to say maybe for the last few months we've been rotating like every week on the brew deck. So like it's been very fun to have like two other people up there, and then it's always like, oh, what did you do on this day, or like how did you hit this, like, and then we're always like talking about our techniques and like trying to like, hit our numbers and everything, which is something I like about a small team because I've come from a small to a big to another small team. It's very different.
right. What would you say are the biggest like, differences in working in the smaller team versus a larger team?
Smaller team, definitely get your hands on like if there's something you don't do in the brewery, or like, it's like, oh, that other person's job or something like that. Like in a big brewery, when I worked at Five Boroughs, that was right after my internship. They put me right on the end of the canning line, and I was like, okay, yeah, nah, this is where you start in a brewery. Like you work your way up the ladder. Like someone moves on, they don't want to continue working, and then then you move up to cleaning kegs or something. And
Right.
at big breweries, that's how it is. Like you're gonna be doing the same thing for like the 6 months. 3 months into a small team, I can be like, hey, I have a easy day today. Can I shadow you? Can I like, and we have time to do stuff like that.
For sure. There's more of a flexibility.
Exactly, like, which is fun. There's a lot more room for to be creative and stuff like that, and like there's also a lot more room to fuck up like that too. So
Right.
it's a fine balance of like trying not to fuck up.
Yeah, for sure. I think you are so unique in how you're the most mechanically inclined person I've ever met. I'm just curious, at what point did you figure out that you had this skill? Like, was it in beer? Was it prior to beer?
I've always, I want to say, like, as a child, I've always been like, oh, I'm going to take something apart and try to put it back together. And then, like, when I was young, it never got back to put together. So it was just a pile of broken stuff. But in beer, I want to say, like, when I was at the Bronx running the canning line, and like, we had a really old decal, man. I fixed that decal with like so many zip ties, and just like, there's like days of just being like staring at it and figuring out how it works, like what are all these sensors are, and like what's, and then and then the machinery in brewing is so like complex. Like if you look at the back of a canning line, all those airlines and everything like that,
Hmm.
there's a reason why these big companies like, Goose and Premier are like big money and stuff like that.
Right,
People buy their products and stuff.
for sure.
But
It kind of leads me to my next question, which is like, because I just feel like it's something that everybody in production goes through, like something just going wrong
yeah.
out of nowhere at the most inconvenient time. I want to hear about how you in particular troubleshoot and how you problem solve when something goes wrong.
I say always take a deep breath. Whatever happens, happen. Like I I've seen people get hung up. They bang the machine. They get frustrated. Like things are not going your way.
Hmm.
For me, all in all, like I'm at work. I'm chill. Like there's worse things that could be happening right now. Like this machine is not. Machines happen.
Yeah,
The more complex these machines are, the more they're gonna break. Like
right.
it's just inevitable. It's gonna happen. And then when things go down, it's just you just gotta take a deep breath. Stop if you need to stop. If you can't keep on going, stop because it don't want to lose beer. You don't want to lose material. Take your time. You can start and you can stop and start again. It's not the end of the world. You can always
And how do you,
close. Well, I mean,
sorry, I'm curious, like when something breaks down, like how do you go about just fixing it? Like how do you go about, do
can it
you
be fixed with a zip tie? That's the first thing I ask. I'm like, if we
like
can
with a
get it
pump, for
going.
example, like a pump, for example.
Um, the pump. I take a lot. Like I don't know. I had this happen to me last week. My pump shroud got loose somehow. People don't tighten the parts after we use the machine, but um, yeah, I don't know. I just address the problem, see what's up, try not to stress over it because of course I'm gonna be like, who the fuck, like,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, just take your time, and the pump stuff is easy, like you see where it's leaking from, bang it out, get it straight, There's like more
Replace the
complex thing.
seal.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't know.
What would you say is the hardest thing that you've tried to fix
Oh man,
or you've succeeded in fixing?
I feel like I haven't fixed anything hard. You know what I mean? Like
I know that's a lie.
nah.
Like the cleaning skid. Like the cleaning skid was an example.
Oh, that was like electrical stuff. Yeah, that was pretty fun because it exploded. So it was trying not to explode again. I don't know. I try like trying to learn other systems that I'm not known to in the brewery has always been hard. Like the boiler system, like those guys have it locked down. They don't want to teach you shit.
Yeah.
Like you got to learn from an apprenticeship. Like they don't.
Hmm.
The pump guys were like that too. I was like, "What are you guys doing? Like, what's up?"
Hmm.
They don't want to share, but like stuff
So
like
just
that.
asking questions.
Yeah, like, but for me, I do a lot of research on the internet. I'll look up my pumps, look up the manuals, look up like there's always people on Reddit with the same problems and shit like that.
Yeah.
So like, I read a lot too. Like, I have a lot of beer books on just like preventative maintenance or just like,
Hmm.
little things and stuff like that. Um,
Is there any preventative maintenance that you would recommend for breweries out there over other things?
um, yeah, when the manufacturer tells you specific dates to re-lube and check your shit, you should actually do it instead of being like, oh, we'll fix it when it breaks.
Right,
That shit's annoying. I had to fix so much of that shit at Evil Twin. I was just like, yeah, we should actually have charts and stuff, you know?
for sure.
Let's have some repair maintenance logs and stuff like this. Maintenance logs are the best. Maintenance logs are the best. I stand by that. Because
Okay.
you can always look back and be like, what did this guy fix? Like, what's going on? Like, I stand by those.
I have to start using that in my brewery for sure. We're gonna take a short break for this message and then come right back for more of this conversation with Nick Flores of Evil Twin NYC.
As an industry leading keg management partner, Keg Logistics delivers premium stainless steel kegs with the flexibility you truly need. Whether you're kegging your first batch or scaling your distribution, choose the program that fits. Rent to own, flexible term leasing, or pay per fill. Get top quality kegs without massive upfront costs and terms that grow with you. Thousands of brewers, cider makers, and wineries trust Keg Logistics to keep production flowing. Head to keglogistics.com/allaboutbeer for your custom quote. Keg Logistics, your kegs, your choice. Hints of grain, dough, and golden bread greet your nose. Traces of sweet cereal appear alongside nutty and earthy aromas. Rahr To Thee Pills lets hop and yeast character take the spotlight, but it takes its supporting role seriously. Ideal for classic continental lagers and crispy craft lagers, Rahr To Thee is appropriate wherever you desire low color and low modification. Appearing in pFriem Pilsner, Rahr To Thee is produced in Alberta with Canadian grown barley. Order from RahrBSG and learn more at RahrBSG.com. Headed to the Craft Brewers Conference? Stop by Stomp Stickers at booth 1117 to check out hands-on samples like their drink and peel labels, or grab your brewery sample pack at the All About Beer live podcast shows at Human Robot. Low minimums, fast turnaround, 100% satisfaction guarantee. StompStickers.com. This episode was proudly brought to you by Ollie and Ecos. Better together, our craft beverage software has saved hundreds of producers time and money. Dump the spreadsheets and make the switch in 2026. Discover what it feels like to run your beverage business with less broken formulas and more peace of mind. Visit saynotospreadsheets.com. That's saynotospreadsheets.com to start your better brewery journey today.
And we're back. I want to shift
Oh.
the conversation a little bit to talk about your background. I know that you were born and raised in the Bronx and very proud of that.
Mm-hmm,
Uh,
mm-hmm.
how has the Bronx shaped who you are?
Um, I don't know. The Bronx is a place rich in history, like, and it's history that my family has been a part of, and it's just like my culture has been a part of, like, you know, from all the Puerto Ricans who came to the Bronx, all the, my great aunts came over and stuff like that, and like my family came over at that time. And the Bronx has such a rich history for, like, rap and hip hop, like it's a raw place. Like, people always talk all this nonsense about the Bronx, and it's not true. Like, we have beautiful avenues, we have beautiful buildings, architecture, parks. We have all these things over there, and it's like there's all this bad take, all this bad. When you tell someone you're from the Bronx, they're like, "Oh, are you okay? Like, what's going on?" Like, it's not even that big of a deal. Like, it's such a cool place, and it's slept on. So I'm just like, I'm happy to be part of it. Um, I'm happy to be from there. Like, I've been doing art my entire life, like from photography to, like, the sculptures and stuff that I do now. Like, all my art has been inspired by, like, the people who came before me, and like there's so many of them in the Bronx. Like, so many idols that I know, who I listen to, from salsa to jazz to any type of music genre. There's so many people, so many actors, so many like you know. It's just I just have a feeling of to be proud from it. Like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's hard.
Do you feel like just being from the Bronx influences you in the way you work or in the way you operate in general or
Yeah, I don't know. I would say I'm like I'm born and raised in this city. I'm what 30, so it's just like I've been here my entire life. Like I try not to take shit from anyone. I do my things. I do what I need to do. Like um, people can come up and talk to me, and I'll be like, oh yeah, no problem. But like, don't get in my way of my work or anything like that. I'm here to do
right.
my job and bounce. New York is so much. It's so vibrant. There's so many things. Like people always have different hustles. Like I'm trying to go to work and I'm trying to get home to do my things. Like
Mm,
there's so many things going on.
right. How do you have that like work-life balance? How do you find that?
That's hard. I still don't have it. I don't know. I'm kind of just winging it. I still haven't figured that out, to be honest. Like some days are really hard because when you can be up on a brew deck and you can get three stuck mashes and everything goes wrong, like nothing starts working, pumps start failing, you have to start like, using another pump, doing all these different things. Like there's so many things that can hit you in a day. Like I've had 8-hour days go into fucking 16-hour days,
Mhm.
and it's just like, well, shit. What
Yeah.
I and like I'll be mad in the middle of it, but I'm not gonna be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
My
No,
attitude is not. Yeah, it is what it
that's so
is.
real. Yeah. No, I mean today was an example of that where like I was supposed to meet with you and then when I got meal problems and then I was there for 2 hours later. Then I was supposed
I knew it. I was like, she probably would have texted me by then, and I was like, something probably happened at the brewery, and I was like, it had something had to happen.
Yeah. Um, but I guess like circling back to to the Bronx, like what for people who don't know the Bronx, like what would you recommend are like a few places to hit up while you're at the Bronx?
Oh man, one you should go to the greatest Yankee
Oh,
baseball stadium ever. Yankee
all right.
Stadium,
All right.
really, really good baseball team. Um, what else? Grand Concourse, I highly recommend. Is a very nice avenue that goes all the way up from the top to the bottom of the Bronx. During springtime, it's gorgeous. Van Cortlandt Park, that one of the biggest parks in New York City. You can go on a hike. You can go see coyotes. You can go do a bunch of shit in there. Um, what else? Um, the Bronx River, very cool, very slept on. Has a lot of little hidden passageways you can go into. Andrew Freeman House, a lot of cool. We have a lot of cool museums. Edgar Allan Poe's house is in the Bronx.
Hmm.
What else? Yeah, nah, the Bronx has a little bit of everything, and you can even go. They have a man-made mansion on the northwest of or man-made like a, I don't know, very rich village over there
Right.
in Riverdale.
Are you talking about Wave Hill?
Yeah, Wave
Yeah,
Hill.
yeah.
We have castles. There's a bunch of shit in the Bronx.
For sure. I guess like going back into beer, what part of brewing do you find the most rewarding?
Um, I think finding the most. What's the most rewarding? I think at the end product, like watching the consumer actually enjoy it. Like I'm a big hangout person. I'm always at the bar. Like if my bar is open and I'm still there, I'll hang out and have a beer. But I like watching people enjoy the beer. I like hearing them be like, "Oh wow, this is really good. Oh wow, I didn't think I was gonna enjoy this or something." Like I've recently started bartending, so like I kind of get a lot of that feeling a lot more.
Nice.
Because then I'll just be like, "Hey," they'll be like, "What's good?" And I'm like, "Try this, try that," and they're like, "Oh, I would never had tried that before," and I was like, "Yeah." And like I don't know,
So you
my
like engaging with the community and
yeah. I also just want people to enjoy beer more, or like actually have the knowledge of like what they're tasting, which is like what a lot of people don't have. Like
for
they don't
sure.
even know the difference between the doubles and the singles and everything. Or like what am I doing? Or like I don't know.
Yeah. What I guess like what was the first beer? I know you talked about the Flying Dog, but what was the first
Yeah,
beer that you made you fall in love with beer? And what would be your desert island beer?
that's a hard one. Um, First beer that made me hmm, that's a hard one. Desert beer? I don't know. It's very hard. I can only think of maybe styles. Can I use
Okay.
that? Can I do that
Yeah,
maybe?
sure. Go ahead.
Mm, okay. Desert Island beer, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want an Imperial Pils.
Imperial Pills.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Real boozy, like just
Like
be perfect.
crystal clear.
Clear, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
That'd be good.
Uh-huh.
I drink that for a while.
Nice.
And a beer that made me, mm, I don't know. I don't think I have a favorite beer, or I have favorite hood beer, but that's
Well,
favorite
what is it?
craft. I'm not gonna say it on here. That's embarrassing.
All right.
It's not a high life. Don't come at me, people.
Okay.
Um, Damn. Sorry, this is hard.
Well, I guess no pressure, but how about like an evil twin? Is there any beer that you've made over there that you're like especially proud of?
That's too easy. I think all the loggers I made over there, because we have a really cool loggering program, which is nice at Evil Twin. But I did
What's
a
so
Munich
cool about it?
Dunkel. It's just we go from the fooder, we go from the stainless to the fooder, and it's like they each get 2 weeks in each, which is nice. Everything drops out. But yeah, nah, I really love the Munich Dunkel we have on tap right now. That's one I made. Um, Maybe I love loggers, to be honest. Like I've done a lot of videos with loggers and stuff like that too.
Yeah, no, I remember the what was it? The log jam and Pilsner journey that
Yeah, that was fun. I don't know. I like light beer, but craft beer has like so many little things about each like style. Like I like making IPAs. I think brewing IPAs is probably like the best and most satisfying thing you can do.
why you say that?
I just think like, especially if you're writing a recipe with hop additions and stuff like that, like
Mhm.
figuring out hops is probably like the coolest and funnest thing about it. Like especially, I don't know, for different styles and everything, or just like you can do a lot of different things and a lot of
I totally agree. I
and
think
you can
it's
do.
fascinating, like the timing of your addition, if you're doing it
Mhm.
towards the end of fermentation, if you're doing it after. Yeah, I totally agree.
There
And it's
should be
also the
more.
reason why we
Yeah,
all have jobs.
very true. This is very true.
Nick will be back on the next episode of this show as the host having a conversation with a brewer of his choosing. That will be on the air next week, so make sure you tune in for that. A reminder, visit allaboutbeer.com and follow on social media at allaboutbeer. To support journalism in the beer space, check out allaboutbeer.com/support. I'm Gali Hernandez of Grimm Artisanal Ales. Thank you for listening to the Brewer to Brewer podcast.
Hints of grain, dough, and golden bread greet your nose. Traces of sweet cereal appear alongside nutty and earthy aromas. Rahr To Thee, Pills, lets hop and yeast character take the spotlight, but it takes its supporting role seriously. Ideal for classic continental lagers and crispy craft lagers, Rahr To Thee is appropriate wherever you desire low color and low modification. Appearing in pFriem Pilsner, Rahr To Thee is produced in Alberta with Canadian grown barley. Order from RahrBSG and learn more at RahrBSG.com. Thinking about switching printers but just not sure? See Stump Stickers products for yourself at the Craft Brewers Conference, booth 1117. StumpStickers.com keeps it simple. Low minimums for a quick test, fast turnaround, and 100% satisfaction guarantee on every order. And trusted by thousands of brewers for over 30 years. So stop by booth 1117, check out hands-on samples like their drink and peel labels, and swing by the All About Beer podcasts at Human Robot to grab a brewery sample pack. Or head to stompstickers.com and use code FIRSTRUN for 15% off of your first order. As an industry-leading keg management partner, Keg Logistics delivers premium stainless steel kegs with the flexibility you truly need. Whether you're kegging your first batch or scaling your distribution, choose the program that fits. Rent to own, flexible term leasing, or pay per fill. Get top quality kegs without massive upfront costs and terms that grow with you. Thousands of brewers, cider makers, and wineries trust Keg Logistics to keep production flowing. Head to keglogistics.com/allaboutbeer for your custom quote. Keg Logistics, your kegs, your choice. Have you spent countless hours juggling multiple spreadsheets, handwritten notes, and disconnected systems? In this business, time really is money. That's why Ali and Ecos have teamed up to bring you the most powerful craft beverage management platforms in the industry. Whether you're a craft brewery, distillery, cidery, winery, or even cannabis beverage operation, producers like you are saving up to 10 hours a week so they can focus on increasing sales. Stop wasting your time in endless cells and rows and start catching up. Learn how you can save time and money at saynotospreadsheets.com. That's saynotospreadsheets.com.